Hi, I'm Terry Murphy with Realty Times Women in Business, Women in Real Estate, and my favorite, In the Men's Room with Murph. And I have a great guest for us today. Michael White and I have been working together for I don't know how many years, Michael, but we'll get to that sometime. He's a superstar mortgage coach, and he and I have actually worked hard and long to maximize the relationship between realtors and lenders that ultimately elevate the experience for the consumer. Would you agree, Michael?
Absolutely, Terry. I think it's one of the things that you and I have focused on. It was probably the point where you and I got to be of similar mind, you speaking about the relationship with lenders to the real estate community and me doing pretty much the same with loan officers. So it is sort of that professional marriage made in heaven when you can find somebody who has the same type of audience, sharing the same type of message. It really resonates, and it has over close to these 20 years.
I was just going to say it's been over 20 years, and boy, have we been through some ups and downs in that 20 years. But at the end of the day, the most successful transactions happen because the relationships are good and the systems are there. And for all these years, you've been putting together literally systems and action plans and measurable initiatives for both lenders and realtors to work together. And you like to teach that there are systems that value both the client and ultimately the people that are working together. So one of the things that you've done so well is create opportunities for lenders and realtors to secure more listings. And especially in this time where we have this pandemic going on, and there's two attitudes out here, Michael. One says the sky is falling, and the other one's so busy they can't sleep. Tell us, what are your insights? You say there are 6 opportunities. Tell us about one to start with.
Well, I think the thing that we have to look at in the whole pandemic situation, and there are always people who have fears, people who are uncomfortable, and I think it's important that understand whether you're a realtor or a lender, you're no different than your community. Some people don't think that there's any problem at all, and other people are sitting in the corner in the fetal position, scared to do anything. And you can't pass judgment on anyone because they feel how they feel. But when you step back and look and realize what's happening, there are always opportunities that are presented. And since so much of what you and I have done over the years is built around relationships and providing value to the people that we serve and dealing with the whole customer experience, that just reaching out and talking to your clients, your database, your people, your friends, your relatives, they have questions that you might be able to answer. And if it's not real estate or mortgage driven, it's still about, hey, did you know so-and-so is open, or so-and-so is delivering, or they do curbside, or I know of a plumber who's working an emergency. Most of my clients right now in the mortgage side of the business are doing unprecedented numbers of purchase loans right now for a very select handful of realtors who somebody didn't give those realtors the memo that the world had to stop. And they've been calling my people because they know my people are working. And it's as simple as that. As I've said in the past, it's just as simple as remembering you don't have enough business because you don't talk to enough people.
I know you did one of those great easy buttons with that. And every once in a while I hear you say that, and it's so true. So there are 6 opportunities. The first one is obviously reach out and talk to someone and see if you can be of service. Would that be accurate?
Correct. And I think it's really important that you remember that is a morning and an afternoon habit that you really need to get into every day, is rolling through the database and your connections, even if it's only 5 or 10 calls at a time.
Yeah, that makes really good sense. And I think you made a really good point here, Michael, when you talked about it doesn't have to be real estate related. You do a tremendous job talking about the referral triangle. And that's how businesses that have some strategic alliance with each other support each other through recommending other people's services. And if you're a realtor or a lender in town and you can announce that so-and-so is actually opening next week, or so-and-so is doing curbside, you become a value beyond the real estate service level, and that really helps you get more clients and customers.
Well, Terry, it goes back to something that you taught me years ago, or a phrase that you have used, being that hyper local exceptional professional, right? Being connected into the main street, the local community, knowing all the nuances of where it is that you are, because ultimately that is the big deal. And let's be honest, who the hell wants to talk real estate and mortgage 24/7, 365?
And you don't want them to file a restraining order because you keep asking them how they are and if they want to move. So there are 6 opportunities. Are there any other ones you want to share?
Let's just talk about, and let me go through them really quickly for you, because I just want people to let their brains start thinking. You know, the first quarter of this year, before this all started, we were setting records for purchase transactions. Real estate market was really hot. And we went into this pandemic situation, but the people who wanted to buy houses and sell houses, they didn't stop wanting to buy and sell houses. They've just been restricted or restrained from that possibility. So remember, the existing people that had all that momentum in the first quarter, they're still there. You just got to go wake them up and say, hey, by the way, we're open for business again. The second part about this is even more so now than ever, there are renters out there. If you think if you own your own house right now and you're worried about social distancing, how do you feel about the person who hasn't left their apartment in 3 months because they got a neighbor who coughs every time they walk up and down the hallway? Renters are now even more excited about getting out of an apartment and buying a house. Okay, here's 2 things that you probably don't think about, but they're going to resonate really quickly. Number 1, being together in our family units for this amount of time. Let's be honest. Okay, we're going to see a bunch of babies being born in December, January, and February. What does that mean? It means many people either want to buy a house or now need a bigger one because they've got another person coming along the way. Okay, flip side to that same coin, those people who have been living together find out that they really don't like each other anymore.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're going to see a whole bunch of divorce filings in June, July, August, and September once your local municipal court system opens up again. Well, with a divorce, many of those houses are going to become available to be listed and sold. Okay, so not only do you have a listing, but you get a buy side and maybe 2 or 3 if it's an amicable, separation. So you've got that. The next piece of the puzzle is how many of us have been now working from home and never worked from home before and found out I am never going back to my company is no longer going to have an open. I'm just going to work from home. In many cases, the mortgage pros that I work with have found out that processors and underwriters and closers are actually more productive when they're working from home because they're not in the office getting caught up in the office drama of a bunch of people. But how many people are never going back to work at their company's office space and now need a home office? Well, guess what? I either have to figure out how to build a home office in my house, or I got to sell this one and buy one that's already got one. And last but not least, the most fundamental of all things, people can't stand their 4 walls anymore. If you just ask me, say, well, how do you, oh man, I just can't take this place. I can't stand this. Like, you nitpick every little thing that you can't stand about your house. So it's sort of like, hey, call up on the phone, ask how you're doing. This is just, you're a realtor, great, list my house, get me the hell out of here. I can't take this place anymore. Sell me anything. If you don't approach it with those opportunities in mind, you're short servicing yourself because you never know which opportunity is going to present itself. And it generally just starts out by asking, as you like to say, how you doing? Right? Is it just start there and see what they say, because more than not, we're talking about selling a house, buying another one, or getting them out of an apartment and into a home.
Well, Michael, you and I both know people's lives change every day, and it's not as easy to change a house, but it's much easier to have a team that works together so that if this isn't a house you want to be sequestered in for a while, it's time to buy or sell. Michael, how would people reach you to get more information about your training, your services, and your coaching?
Well, it's the simplest way to reach out to me is through email, and it's mike@imtcoaching.com. It's the fastest and simplest way to reach me. I respond to people within 12 to 24 hours every day.
And your website is Improve My Tomorrow Coaching?
Or you can just go to imtcoaching.com. Either one of those links will get there. Again, there's a lot of free information on the website, things that both mortgage people and realtors can use to help themselves, or at least give them some ideas of what they can be doing to help improve their business.
Yeah, you certainly do, and it lends itself well to other professionals as well, and specificities like realtor and builder. So thank you for joining us. I hope you'll join us for another segment here on Realty Times in the men's room with Merv. Thanks for joining us.